and welcome to another edition of the BB and J podcast on a rare Sunday edition.
I know, it's like we're the NFL broadcast right now or something.
Oh, what up?
A bit of a somber day here in Toronto as the Toronto FC are coming off their first ever finals appearance in a penalty kick loss to the Seattle Sounders.
The Seattle Michael Saunders.
And
Don't you mean the Seahawks?
oh gosh,
Yeah,
They basically
well,
just
that's
look
like
like
that's
this.
like Seattle's color. It's like green and white, like for all their teams.
well before
Or,
before we
the
really
blue, like the
Yeah.
blue and green,
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
What did I say?
green and white.
Yeah.
You're thinking about their goalie, right?
Yeah.
well before we really get into that, like, can we just talk about, as hockey fans, was it so just upsetting to see like a championship game, like,
Lost here.
well, no, just end in that way, end in a penalty shootout.
Yeah, it's a crappy way to determine the championship. But
I had
no,
that
but what
thought
if they
too.
play? But like, there's not really anything it's not really anything you can do. Like, you can't. What if they played another extra time and nobody scored? Like, I understand why you need to end the game there, but it's just crappy that it made it that far.
I get what you're saying. Like, it's like seeing the Stanley Cup
can't
final end
prolong
in
it.
a shootout, which would suck.
Yeah.
I thought about that too last night, but then
Like-
it kind of hit me. I was like, nah, this is how they do things.
This is how they do it.
And it was just like,
That
happens in international play too, doesn't it?
If TFC won, we wouldn't. I don't think anyone would be like. Any of us would have been like, who cares if we won on penalty kicks? We
Yeah.
won.
Well, okay, that's different though.
Well, it is
we
different
had the
'cause they would
majority of the offensive stats that
I know
game.
that's what makes it even more frustrating that we had way more possession and shots on goal, and Seattle didn't have one shot on target.
And we had zero saves.
Yeah, because they didn't get a shot on
they
target.
didn't get it. Yeah, it's just it wasn't TFC versus the Seattle Sounders last night. It was TFC versus Stephen Fry.
that was ridiculous.
Yeah,
save,
that
though.
guy
Like,
honestly
I
deserves
don't know
MVP.
do they have MVP things for that? I don't know if they
Yeah,
do.
he did win the MVP.
Oh, good.
I wouldn't
I
be
tuned
surprised
out.
because that game, if he wasn't in that game, no doubt in my mind this would have been a 5-0 shutout.
Before Seattle got presented with their trophy, I went to the Winnipeg and Calgary game. And then I was like 5-0.
Yeah.
But sorry,
Yeah, no,
Toronto way. That's a Toronto way to lose.
it is a very Toronto way to lose.
We're a
but-
city of almosts lately.
I just feel like if Altidore got a bit more on his header, then maybe I think he could have gotten a bit more on it.
That game starts and ends with Stephen Fry.
But I didn't really see, because I was watching Leaf game, and I wasn't sure how many like high quality scoring chances they generated.
We got a few decent ones. Honestly, I think the midfielders could have played a little bit farther upfield. Kind of like how they did in the Montreal game, in the last Montreal game, but it was very defensively minded. And honestly, the players were. It seemed like the whole game was going way slower because it was like -10, and I don't think a lot of them are used to playing soccer in -10 weather.
I'm surprised the season goes on into December.
Doesn't it start up again in like March? Like,
Yeah, so they're only off for a few months.
Okay, but
Yeah.
March makes sense because some of us are like, I don't know about you guys, but I go ice skating in my T-shirt in March.
Well, I think I don't go ice skating in my T-shirt in March.
Well, we're gonna try and change that this year.
But I think soccer, the MLS teams should have a bit more, few games a week, so that the season doesn't end in December.
Yeah, it seems like it's more.
Because what if they had to play tonight in the snowy weather?
Yeah,
Oh my God!
that would have been amazing.
yeah,
see players-
I don't know.
Like to look
Falling down.
amazing for us to watch and look at, but terrible if you're there.
Because
And
I was really surprised that the season I think the latest it should end is like late October.
yeah,
Play in
Yeah.
the fall.
well, because it does seem like that spring summer sport like baseball.
And you can play soccer in the fall because they do it. It gets pretty
Yeah.
cold in England when they play.
Well, yeah, but they also have indoor soccer stadiums.
In England or in
Yeah.
MLS?
Oh no, and
In
I'm
MLS
sure
they do. In England
I'm
they
sure in
don't.
some. I
No,
thought
all of them are outdoor stadiums.
I have no idea.
No, hold on, no.
Yeah, yes, they are.
Well, in England, yeah, but there are definitely indoor stadiums in Europe.
Okay, but all the EPL teams they play in they play in outdoor stadiums.
So, are you guys gonna watch more TFC games next year? After this little playoff run? Right now
Depends.
In December. I'm saying I'll probably try and.
Well, I think they'll still have a good team next year. I think they'll have a lot of the same core. If they're on at the same time as the Blue Jays, I'll probably watch the Blue Jays. But if I'm at home and like,
oh, but dude, they might have an off day and then TFC is playing and it works out perfectly. Because what else is on? When
Honestly,
the Jays
yeah,
aren't
you know
on?
what?
So that's when I might watch TFC.
Honestly,
Well, if anything, I might want to get out to a game next year.
Yeah. Well, I liked going when we went to see the Argos game.
You like the stadium?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know what'd be great? Friggin' TFC Sunday, Blue Jays or Raps Monday, Leafs Tuesday, and then Raps or Blue Jays on Wednesday.
This would have
That
to
would
be
be- that would
like
be-
very late September.
Yeah. Can all 4 teams even play at the same time? The Raps would. Yeah, I don't even know.
No, it would
Or
have to be.
okay,
It
or
would have to be October baseball, and like preseason.
Now I'm confused.
Preseason NBA.
yeah.
And maybe preseason NHL, and then I guess regular season or playoffs. I don't even know. We don't know enough.
Well, either way, it'd be great to just be able to not have conflict. What I mean is not to have conflicting times between teams.
It's nice to think about that. A lot of I know I said dynasty of almosts last night.
Oh, for real.
It's true though. I mean,
For real. No, I completely agree. I was looking at it. I was like, so Toronto's just not going to have a championship.
But I kind of also see it. You can either look at it as a glass half full or glass half empty. Like they almost did it, but I think in a lot of cases it's progress. Like the Leafs.
So are the Leafs going to the conference finals this
You know
year?
what the Leafs almost is? Almost ready to compete. That's what I thought. I was like, I can't.
Hey, Toronto sports team did win something in the last year.
The first pick in the draft.
Yeah, the lottery ball champions.
Yeah.
2016
Yeah.
lottery ball champions. You were saying they should have a Raptor at the ACC. 2016 lottery ball champions.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
you know what?
Would have been awkward for
honestly-
Austin Matthews at that banner raising, like, hey, my name's not even on the fucking thing.
Honestly, it's been 23 years since the last championship came to Toronto.
Yes, that is correct.
I
If
think
you
I'm
don't- if you
excluding
don't-
Math is right on the show.
If you don't count the Rock or the
the
Argos.
But then
Okay, but
again,
we're like-
who?
Core 4, I think we're.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what is MLS like part of the core 5 now?
Well, you have to understand
Because it's not considered one of the 4 major sports.
No.
Well, you have
MLS.
to understand we're the go-between between North America and Europe. So we have to cut at least half. We have to make concession with Europe and North America. Our concession with North America is NBA and baseball. Our concession with Europe is soccer, and then hockey is based as a sport
What
that
do you
we
mean
invented.
concession with Europe?
Well, we have a lot of European immigrants here, and they all like to watch soccer. Why not? Like, we've only had I'm pretty sure we have a soccer league, or soccer team that is a part of the MLS. I mean, you can even argue that the MLS is because of a lot of our European immigrants in North America.
The increase in popularity.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it's not considered by North American standards. It's not considered one of the 4 major sports. That's MLB,
No, it's not.
NBA.
But what I mean
Not
for
yet,
Canadian
yeah.
sports, though, because we don't have an NFL team. If we had an NFL team, we wouldn't be talking about soccer.
Well, since we're Toronto and we're the center of the universe, when we say top 4, we're like, okay, top 3. You
Yeah.
know, we're like, we pick and choose. And like you said, we kind of shun the Argos chip. Like, they've won 2 championships in the past,
I'd say
my
past 15
watching.
years.
You know what's crazy? Totally unrelated. Like the Blue Bombers, they haven't won a championship since like 1990, which is crazy because there's only like 6, 7, 8 teams.
Yeah.
Makes those droughts even worse, right?
Well, the All Blacks hadn't.
Red Blacks.
Red Blacks had. I can't.
Yeah, but
Rugby.
they were in and out of the league for so long.
Yeah, but you know what? They hadn't won. Like, how long was it? Like 60 years?
Yeah, but they were in and out of the league. Like Ottawa didn't have a team for a good amount of time.
Are you talking about the Senators or are you talking about the Red Blacks?
The Red Blacks.
Because it happened to both of them.
So
Time.
since you guys have been watching more TFC games, can you guys name some players?
Giovanco, Altidore.
There's a French guy that I really like. Past few games I like watching him play. I think his name is Benoit Charoux.
There's
I like him.
I know one. Beitashour.
I don't even know who that is.
His name. I don't. Like,
he's
his
like
name.
He's a substitution midfielder.
It's like
there's
Betash.
And I think his name was Will Johnson or
Ricketts was the guy who got the sliding goal.
Yeah.
During the Ricketts.
And apparently the guy who hit the crossbar last night was the highest scoring defenseman all year.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good shot.
Josie
Far down and
Altidore
out.
had he was a postseason MVP last. Other than
No, he wasn't postseason MVP.
he was a top postseason scorer
Of this year?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I was reading before the game. TFC has scored 17 goals in all their games. The Western Conference total, all teams scored 17 goals total. TFC outscored the whole Western Conference. Once I heard that stat, I was like, "Yo, TFC are winning."
Well, those Montreal games were really high scoring.
Yeah. That I would. You know what?
That's still a remarkable stat.
Oh yeah, definitely. I wasn't
excuse my mannerisms, but that last, comparatively, that last Montreal game was such a tease for what was coming up here, because Montreal was, let's just be real, was more of an opponent than Seattle was.
Well, I thought it was a well played game, and I thought it was still interesting to watch, even though the scoring wasn't there.
Yeah.
And they were obviously talented enough to make the final and win it.
I think there should have been more. I don't know what the ref's problem is with calling fouls on people that were fouling Giovanco, because there were 5 or 6 times where Giovanco got pulled down by his jersey, and there was just no calls. So I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, I mean, overall, the TFC definitely outplayed the Sounders, and I hate to see the game go that way, eh?
I don't know. I'm not a hardcore fan, so I don't have the hardcore sadness about it. So I'm just kind of like, that was fun to watch. Sorry for the hardcore fans.
Yeah, that's who I feel
real.
for more.
But
it's hardcore TFC fans. But yeah,
I might check out a few games next year, maybe try and get to one. But I think that's where the big victory of the TFC comes from, because this is a lot of exposure. This is the most exposure they've gotten in their 10 years, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
And they were a joke when they got into the league.
Oh, I remember.
They weren't properly run.
So it's a new chapter of the TFC,
and hopefully they can
maturing.
There's gonna be a time where they're bad again, but hopefully, they can take the next step next year, because I think they're gonna have a lot of the same players. Hopefully,
yeah,
that's pretty good.
So moving on, the
know.
NBA just released their their decision for the protest, and they decided not to appeal the call, which
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
Why did that take 3 weeks?
Well, I think it goes back to what Brandon said before, is NBA has issued the most amount of apologies to the Raptors.
Mm-hmm. By a wide margin.
It has to be by.
You said it was something 8. Like 13, and then next one was
10, and the next one is 2.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So, I think the NBA just doesn't. They don't look at a team like the Raptors and think that they're really worth an appeal of that. Which you know what, I'm not surprised, because it just proves to me that the NBA really doesn't care about the bottom line, about the game itself. It's more about who brings in the money, and obviously the Raptors don't bring enough money to merit any sort of appeal.
Know about that.
Well, you said it. You said it yourself. If this was LeBron or if this was Curry,
it might have more to do with.
If this was Cousins,
I don't think I think the Raptors do a good job of generating revenue for the league, because they sell out mostly every single game.
Especially now with Drake and making the
Drake.
Clothing,
Yeah, I don't think it's part. It's not because the Raptors don't make money. Honestly, I think it's because they're the only Canadian team.
Yeah,
and they don't have that star player.
Yeah.
Well, not that DeRozan's not a star player. They don't have an upper echelon player.
How have they rebounded since
They've played really
Yeah,
well.
played
They were on a
really
6-game
well.
winning streak. Then, of course, we lost to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Didn't I say
But
we
you
were
know
going to
what?
beat them again, too?
Pardon?
I think I said the last time we did predictions, I think I said
I said Cleveland. The Raptors can't beat Cleveland. If we're in the playoff series,
we only lost by like 4 points, though.
doesn't matter.
It was like
I know.
116 to 112.
Yeah.
Oh, every single game has been decided by just a few points, but it doesn't matter. If we face Cleveland in the playoffs again, they're going to beat us. I don't think the Raptors have a stand a chance against Cleveland. Even if we're the second seed, unless the Raptors make a trade for another elite player, DeMarcus Cousins.
Unless we pull like a Celtic pride kind of thing and kidnap him.
So we're kidnapping LeBron James?
I didn't say that.
Please.
I didn't say that. We're not going to recreate
I don't-
the Dan
no,
Aykroyd
no.
movie. Sorry.
No. I don't want LeBron James playing in Toronto.
I thought you were going to
That's
say.
not what we're
rather-
saying.
I thought he
I'd
was going to say,
rather-
I don't want LeBron James in my house. Like, I
I-
thought that's what he was going to
I'd
say.
rather have Steph Curry or Kevin Durant.
We know you
playing-
wouldn't have LeBron James
I would not.
here for
I would
the
not
price
have
of a fucking
LeBron
McNeil.
James playing golf for Toronto, let alone basketball.
We have a golf team?
You know what? His personality is tenement to the movie that he made a cameo in, and it's a train wreck. That's all I'm going to say about LeBron James.
And
But-
then Space Jam 2 is going to come out, and he's going to be the biggest LeBron guy ever.
No,
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan holds a special spot in my heart.
So
for
they
that.
went on a 6-game win
Well,
streak.
they had a 6-game homestand. They won 5 of the 6 games. That one loss came
Yeah.
against Cleveland.
They actually had a pretty good game against the Celtics.
Yeah,
too.
and then in the second half of the back-to-back against Boston on the road, they started off really slow, but from the third quarter on, they
they
dominated the
came
Celtics.
back. Yeah, that
it
was
really,
big.
it was a really impressive win
Yeah.
against Boston,
So
because
the-
Boston's a pretty good team.
So
Well,
the
no,
Raptors are
um,
better in back-to-backs than the Leafs?
Yeah,
Who-
that's what I said on Twitter.
Who was the guy that filled in for Damari Carroll? Yeah,
Norman Powell.
Norman. Holy
He had a great game.
Shit.
He was making threes. He had a really good dunk. He was stealing the ball.
If this is our team, who's the guy that's out right now? I always forget his name. The big
Sullinger.
signing,
Sullinger.
Sullinger. If this is a team
how
that
I remember
Sullinger's
that
coming
one.
into,
If
he's back before the playoffs,
he's supposed to be back in the new year. He's a good piece. He should help them, but I don't think Sullinger's enough to get them over the hump.
I think you know what? No,
Is he?
If
You said
the hump
isn't
is
he a bench
Cleveland,
player?
No, I think the Raptors project him to be the starting power forward,
Oh, okay.
but since he's coming off a leg injury, I can see
bench
he's probably going to
minutes.
come off the bench, and maybe like they'll have him starting in February. But
Yeah.
I
Ease
don't
him
know.
into it. Ease him into it. Don't fucking
Yeah.
re-injure anything, right?
you know what though?
Because right now our starting forward is a rookie named Siakam, and I think eventually they want to put Siakam on the bench.
Yeah, honestly, we need.
But I've been really impressed with the Raptors. Sorry, go.
Yeah, no. I totally agree. I think, but I kind of disagree with you.
In terms of what?
Well,
About what?
the hump in terms of the playoffs.
Oh.
If the hump is Cleveland, if it's only really been like the difference of like what, like 10 or 10 points.
Doesn't matter.
That's
They still.
different. That's the
I think
difference of
Cleveland will
three-
take
three or four
will take
baskets.
it up to an even higher gear in the playoffs.
Is there anybody?
You know-
and plus,
okay, no.
we're also gonna have to fight the refs again in the playoffs.
Is there anybody in the Eastern
Okay, but you know
Conference
what?
that could
There's
take
going to
out
be a
the Cavs?
difference.
Other than the Raptors?
Yeah.
No.
There's going to be a key
It's
difference.
like that would be my dream scenario. Like in the playoffs,
Because we wouldn't have to face them Eastern Finals.
Yeah, like-
I know what you mean,
like
but no,
Atlanta takes them
no.
out somehow.
There's absolutely no one else.
No.
The Raptors are the second best team in the comp. There's no one
Yeah.
else that could beat
LeBron
Cleveland.
sprays his ankle for the first round. The Hawks beat
Oh,
them.
there's
Okay,
an
but
injury.
that's asking too much. But what I'm being, but going to your point
Wishful
about the
thinking, I
refs,
guess.
there's no way the refs are going. Like it might happen in Cleveland, but if we get the majority of the games here, there's no way. There's no way the refs can.
Well, that's
can
actually something that
afford
the Raptors really need to do. If they want
to
any
miss a
chance
call.
to beat Cleveland, they're gonna have to get home court advantage.
Yeah. So there's if. Can you imagine a ref making a stupid call in Toronto after what happened in
The protest?
Yes.
Yeah, I can still see that happening. Actually,
But no,
Yeah.
but like
I was like, is
what
this
I
a
mean,
trick question? What?
Not like yeah, it definitely can happen. But the fan reaction if it was here, they would have to stop the game.
maybe.
They would have to stop the
Maybe.
game. I'm looking at what happened with Jim Wolf and all the stuff that was happening.
Always comes back to Jim Wolf.
Yeah.
But
The dude cried about it. We made up for it.
but what I mean is, if that stuff happened in baseball, Imagine what the reaction would be in basketball.
Well, since we're getting known for throwing beers on the floor, maybe that will happen. It happened last night in the TFC game.
People
though.
are throwing
No one-
food.
But what were they throwing? The
I think you're
the stringy stuff.
the streamers. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I think they
Really, you're allowed to throw that?
Yeah.
sounded like it. It sounded
Yeah.
like they were fine with the streamers, but the beer and food was too much.
Yeah, that's the one
Oh,
thing.
I need food.
Did you guys notice that all the players were running around the field? All the substitute players were running around the field trying to stay warm.
On the sidelines?
Yeah.
No, I didn't notice that.
No.
Oh my gosh. To me, I was just like, this
So-
is Canadian. This is Canadian soccer.
So who do the Raps have coming up then?
Tomorrow they face Milwaukee. They're gonna have to face Antti Kupatampo, whatever his name is.
Oh, the guy you can't pronounce. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, dude, watch the game tomorrow.
Okay,
Try and
yeah.
watch a bit of it and see his last name. You're gonna be like, what?
Okay. Yeah.
And then they're on the road again. It's weird. The Raptors are home, on the road, back home, then on the road again for the next 4 games.
I'm on road
Huh.
again.
But I don't know who they
wait,
face
get
after
on the
Milwaukee.
road
I'll
again.
check. Is that the Jack Kerouac?
Yeah, but you know what it reminds me of? It always reminds me of the part in Shrek, where Donkey's just like,
Oh, and Star Wars comes out in 5 days.
Rogue One.
I'll probably see it on cheap night.
I
on
don't want
Tuesday.
to. Yeah, I don't want.
That's what I did last year for Star Wars. I saw it by myself on cheap Tuesday.
Nice.
I always go to movies, but you know what? That's a very underrated thing. Going to see a movie
I
by
like
yourself.
going to movies by myself.
Fuck yeah.
It's a very underrated thing.
It's so good. You get to go to the exact time and the exact movie you want to
Oh,
go
you don't
to.
have to wait for people.
But,
Exactly.
sorry, Raptors are in Philly on Wednesday. There's a win.
Yeah.
And then home against Atlanta already. We just faced them 2 weeks ago and we beat them by 44 points. So
Holy
that's their
fuck.
schedule until our next podcast.
Nice. So win,
not
win,
bad.
win.
3-0.
All right. 3-0.
We're gonna drop one of those games.
No, we're not.
I feel like we're gonna drop one of those games.
Now that he said it,
How
we're
much
gonna
time do
lose
we
to
have next?
Philadelphia.
So we got 20 seconds left. Do you
20
want
seconds
here
left?
and go to the Leafs in the next segment?
Yeah, we can go the Leafs.
So the Leafs are coming off a 4-1 win in Boston. This one, it's an easy joke, but this one,
I can hardly bear it.
Oh wow. Oh goodness. What is your joke, Brennan?
I was gonna say this. I was gonna say something like a 4-1 lead in Boston that they didn't blow. I was just gonna say something like that.
You're still better than can't bear it.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
Merry Christmas, everybody.
But yeah, they held on. They didn't fuck this up.
Yeah, that
but
was.
to be honest, I thought the Leafs played way better in the last 2 games in losses against Minnesota and Vancouver
Yeah.
than they did last night. But hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. First fucking period, Boston was all over us.
Yeah.
The first period in every game has been the most frustrating thing lately.
Yeah.
It's like they have so much rest, and then they're like, oh.
We only had 2
They
shots
come out
last
looking
night.
like the tired team.
We only had 2 shots last night in the first period.
Yeah, no. Getting out of the period, I was like, I had my face over my hands. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, please, TFC
Like-
win. Because we came out of the period. It was 10-2 in shots for the Bruins.
To start to these games, it's like they're yawning coming out on the ice. They're like, oh, game time? Oh, all right, let me get warmed up here in the first.
But, you know,
Just give me 20 minutes. Like,
But you know what? It wasn't so much that it was that they were tired. It was that Boston came out with a lot more.
So you think it was more Boston than the Leafs?
Yeah, Boston came out really. They were fighting for pucks in the neutral zone, and
They were playing a heavy game.
yeah, and like they were really getting on the Leafs, and the Leafs just it felt like couldn't really keep up, and then
I thought the Leafs looked a little timid.
and then it seemed like they adjusted in the second intermission, and then came out
First intermission.
first intermission, and came out really really strong after
Well,
that.
They generated more scoring chances in the second. You know, Matthews got them going. And then Hyman had a nice deflection on his goal. And Anderson, I like Anderson, but if there's one thing he needs to improve on is playing with the puck.
yeah,
Well,
and
If it wasn't for that, he could have had a
Oh
shutout.
my
Yeah.
god! Oh
Remember, sorry,
my
we're
god!
getting-
That
I'm
last
getting ahead of-
last
yeah,
play.
sorry, remember, I'm getting
Oh
ahead of
my
myself. Remember
god!
with like 2 minutes left,
Yeah.
with the goalie pulled,
Oh.
he shot it up the middle with right to the Boston player. I'm pretty sure the puck was on the goal line after.
No, I mean the one that he fumbled, like where he tried to play it with his stick and it
when,
bounced
when
up.
Boston pulled their goalie.
Yeah.
that was
Oh.
like 2 minutes left because they pulled their goalie because they were down by 2 goals.
Ugh.
They pulled their goalie early.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know.
But
I
you were
did
saying
not like
about them
that.
playing the big game. I've been worried about that all year with like teams playing that game against the Leafs and it working to some degree. Because
Yeah.
it can. If
Yeah, definitely.
if teams play the Leafs
So
rough enough, they're done.
Mm.
And if they can keep that pressure on, but sometimes they can rebound.
That's why I'm really worried about the San Jose game on Tuesday.
Well, all Western Conference games, you're just like,
Can I
yep.
Can I say this about San Jose? Holy cow. In the last 3 years, they have made like a serious transformation from kind of like a scrappy team to a full on, like, I consider the San Jose Sharks to be like an elite team at this point.
Hey, they've been elite for a while.
Well, no,
Except
I mean like
2 years ago when they missed the playoffs.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, like, generally,
Yeah, they've been a
for
good
our
team.
lives,
San
they've
Jose,
been really good.
when
Like,
I've
And
seen-
hold on, can I say one thing about that? They haven't made a Christmas video since that year that they missed
Oh,
the
yeah.
playoffs.
But no, I think they made one last year.
No, they didn't make one
But
last year. It was Anaheim that made
when
one
was the
last
Phil
year.
Kessel or the Pittsburgh Penguins Home Alone one?
That was last year.
That was last year? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That was
gotta watch
Kessel's. That was Kessel's first year in the team.
Yeah.
And then Boston, and then the third goal, JVR made it 3-1 off.
That was a nice goal.
Hunwick, man, was on the. I was like, why is Hunwick on
3
the power play?
assists.
No, one of them got taken away.
Oh, okay.
Two
Well,
assists.
still 2 for
And
Hunwick.
Connor Brown got the 4-1, got the fourth goal, so it was a 4-1 win. And I think who was the first star last night? Was it Anderson?
It should be.
I don't know who the 3 stars were last night.
I don't know.
Yeah,
either, 'cause
no, I didn't hang
put
around.
my
for that.
TV onto TFC.
I could see
then.
Matthews getting a start. For some reason, I'm thinking Anderson, Marchand, and
Matthews' goal was pretty nice.
Yeah, and know who I thought had a really good game last night?
Nylander?
Nylander.
Yeah.
He
Well,
was all over
nine.
the ice last night.
Will Nye the hockey
And
guy.
also, who also had a really good game, and he's been their best defenseman all year. Zaitsev had a really good
yeah,
game.
Zaitsev had a
He made a lot of
really good game.
good plays. There was one play in particular behind the Leafs net where he used his body to get to hit the player, and he got the puck back right away. And then a nice like clean outlet pass. Those are the
Yeah.
body checks that I like when you separate the man from the puck.
I
But
just
you
picked
know
him
what?
up in fantasy, too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
He still needs to
I
get
got
a
a lot
goal.
of
He
Leafs
still,
on
he
my
still needs to
team
get a
now.
goal though.
I
Yeah.
got 4 Leafs on my team now.
You know what though? I think the reason why Nylander came out ready to play is I think Babcock went to him before the game. He said, "Guess what? You're playing with Hyman and Matthews."
Well, he started on the Kadri Komarov
Yeah, he
line.
started
Yeah.
on that line, and eventually found his way on the Matthews line.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
either
Yeah,
way,
yeah, yeah.
I think he knew that he wasn't going to be playing on the fourth line that night, and I think that's why he came out ready to play.
Still
little
don't
bit
get
better.
why Babcock has this reluctance to change
And
lines
I-
any more than
I
just
don't-
one person.
I don't like how he called Nylander out in the post game against Minnesota. I didn't like that.
What did he say exactly
Well,
again?
you have to look like this goes back to what I'm saying.
He said Nylander has to be more competitive in the defensive zone.
Well, he has to come out and compete.
I don't really notice a lack of compete in Nylander.
I don't. Okay,
Well,
if I'm
I've
gonna
said
say
this
anything, I
before.
don't really notice him all that much in the defensive zone.
Well, I've said this before. He kind of kessels a little bit, and what I mean by that is he stands at his assignment position, but he doesn't like his range for that isn't that
Like,
wide.
what do you want to see him like harder, like more harder
Well,
on the walls?
I want him to cover his man a lot more. I mean, like you can't let like 3 forwards go down and just like onslaught your defense where your centerman and your other winger is also helping, but you're just sitting there waiting for the outlet pass that may or may not come. Cover your man, and that's something that Nylander hasn't done a lot in the first few games. And he didn't start doing it even with Ben Smith and Matt Martin until 4 games ago. Last night he did it a lot. He played really well
Like,
defensively.
he's probably. Oh, sorry, you said he was probably, or one of you guys said he was probably even more motivated. Motivated because he was playing with
Matthews.
Matthews and
Yeah.
Hyman.
Yeah. I mean, he hadn't read. I don't think
I
he
don't even
registered
know-
a
I don't
point
even
for
know why
3 games.
Babcock took Nylander off that line to begin with. I don't even know what happened with Nylander. What Babcock was doing for his first month. Nylander was great. I don't know what happened.
Well,
Maybe
like
I think it
said,
was attitude.
I just don't understand why he only changes one piece at a time, or like the order of the lines.
I know you really want to see Matthews with JVR.
You know what I just realized?
At this point, I'm not clamoring for any specific combination. I would just like to get rid of these deflated starts,
Yeah.
and I think if you kind of switch up the lineup, maybe give it a little spark, guys playing with new line mates might do it. It's a possibility, and it just
take Ben Smith out.
Every night
leave
you see the
Soshnikov
tweets come
in.
up of like, the lines, and
Well,
it's just
if
like
they take Ben Smith, who they putting in? Levo?
Yeah, because
Who plays
Levo,
center on the
they have
fourth
so
line?
much stock in Ben Smith now. They've gotten rid of 2 players
Yeah.
for him,
Griffith and Holland. I know
Like-
it's crazy, right?
so they have to have him in to
Yeah.
save face at this point.
actually, speaking of,
I want to see Levo back in the lineup.
he's playing tonight. He's supposed to be playing tonight. That's what
I
Mike
haven't heard
Babcock
anything
said
about
last
that.
night.
I haven't heard
Mike
anything about
Babcock
that.
said
oh yeah,
in the
bye
post.
Peter Holland.
Oh
Enjoy.
yeah. So
Coyotes.
Yeah, fucking, we'll face him on Thursday.
Yeah.
Peter Holland heads over to Arizona for a conditional 6th round pick in 2018.
I think he becomes a 5th rounder if Holland resigns with Arizona.
And becomes nothing probably if he doesn't.
Yeah.
So we might have just given him away.
Well, we needed that cap space kind of, and he really didn't want to play here, which sucks. But
No,
you know what?
He wanted
had,
to play here. He just wanted to play.
No, but the
Like,
thing
that's
is,
the thing.
Yeah,
He was like tweeting
yeah
about
I
it.
think
He's-
he loved playing. He's a Toronto boy.
He said it was his boyhood dream to play for the Leafs. He
And-
wanted to play here, but
But
he
you know
wanted
what,
to
though?
play.
this was the second year that he played under Babcock, where Babcock said, "You have to prove to me that you want to work and play here," and he did that last season. He really worked hard on and off the ice
Actually, you know what? Yeah, 27, 28 points. I think he had last year. Actually, isn't too bad for.
I
Peter
always
Holland.
liked
for 60
Holland.
games. Yeah, 62
From
games.
the first
yeah.
time we acquired him, I liked him. He plays hard.
Yeah, no, I still like him. I think he could have been a real.
I was never. I liked him, but I was never a huge Holland guy.
I was happy when I heard like we re-signed him the couple of times that happened.
Yeah. Well, I think it, like, honestly, he was a 1st round pick, 15th overall. Honestly, I think we could have done a little bit better in terms of to helping him develop, and I think he could have been
Well,
a
we didn't-
Babcock player.
We didn't draft him. You know that, right?
I know, yeah, Anaheim drafted him. I think us as a franchise, especially for a Toronto player, we should have.
The Leafs are doing such a better job of drafting, developing players. Remember, like, growing up, or not even growing up, like just a few years ago, like the Leafs would face any team like Florida.
Oh my
They
God.
would compare how many draft picks are on each team. Florida will have like 12. The Leafs will have like 4
Yeah.
of their own. Now the Leafs have
Dude.
way more players
Well,
who they
the
drafted who are on the team.
Back when we were
Trevor
kids,
Smith.
the draft was never a thing.
Trevor Smith was a guy that we drafted, and we left him in the Marlies.
No, I don't think we drafted Trevor Smith.
I'm pretty
But
sure
like back when we
did.
were younger, the draft seemed like less of a big deal because
'Cause we
well,
traded-
the Leafs were always competing, and B,
Because we traded all of our first round picks.
we were never paying attention to it because it was like, okay, we're just gonna watch everybody else pick players.
Yeah,
then.
we always for a good 10 years there, we traded our 1st round picks.
Because I'm trying to think of a time when like
Nolan.
early 2000s when I sat down and went, oh, it's the draft. Can't do it.
We traded Nolan for a first round pick. Also, Brad Boyes we traded.
Who did we trade? Where did we trade Nolan for the 1st round pick?
Wait, what?
Did you say we traded Nolan for a 1st round
So
pick?
no, we traded a first round pick for Nolan.
Yeah, with Macaulay.
Mhm.
And we traded our top prospect at the time, Brad Boyes.
Yeah.
All in that one trade.
And then we traded first round pick for Brian Leach, I'm pretty sure.
And then we also traded Tuukka Rask for
And what we
somebody.
give Carol
Traded Tuukka Rask.
and what did we give Carolina when we got Ron Francis?
I don't think that. I think that was like 4th round pick. That wasn't a first round pick because Leach and Francis were in the same year.
That was a good year. That was a good year.
Honestly,
In terms of what?
Just like watching that
Leaf.
lineup, Nieuwendyk, fucking Francis.
But now when you compare
Leach.
now when you compare Leafs playing against other teams on a Tuesday night or whatever, there are a lot more draft picks on the Leafs now.
yeah.
But so do we want to go back to the Minnesota Vancouver game, or are we looking ahead? What do you guys want to do?
well, Vancouver game, everybody was expecting slugfest, and then it turned out to be just a
You know what
hockey
though?
game.
It came out in the
Leafs
the
played
rivalry.
great that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
It was back
rivalry
and
came
forth
out in
ping pong
hockey. It came out in pure hockey, and that's what I liked about that game. There's not a lot negative you could say about that game. It's just there were more pucks in the net for Vancouver.
Minnesota was pretty
Well, because-
frustrating too.
well, it wasn't that because it was not that there was more pucks in the net. They won in a shootout.
Yeah, they got the pity point. So
There were more pucks in the
Yay!
net for Vancouver.
But the Leafs from the second period on dominated that game.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely did. But
the Matt Martin fight kind of spurred on that
Yeah.
change a little bit.
and you know what? Ryan Miller had one. There were some shots. Like there was a shot by Austin Matthews. I was surprised that didn't get in that game.
I think there was a couple that went off the bar too.
And
Minnesota
Kadri played really good that game too as well.
Minnesota was just a blatantly frustrating game. I don't even have.
Oh, I was at the game.
Oh yeah, let's hear the insider experience.
You know, the crowd was actually pretty good for a
I couldn't
Wednesday-
hear it on
a
TV.
Wednesday
I
night.
tweeted you to start.
Oh,
getting some
there's
chants going. I
there
couldn't
is
hear
some
it.
Go Leaf Go chants. But yeah, that's kind of reminding me of the Vancouver game. From the second period on, they dominated, but they couldn't pull it out. Dubnyk was amazing.
Yeah, Dubnyk had it locked down, and their defense was
Yeah,
fucking with us hard.
What the I don't know. Dubnyk put on some strength.
Yeah, but
that
it was
night.
like a total team defensive goaltender effort. Like that's what I noticed. Like the way that they were playing defensively just took away any inch of momentum the Leafs would
They had
have.
some good scoring chances to Leafs.
Yeah, but
But a lot of them seemed they had way more that
it
got
had
broken
no.
up
You know
on
what?
the way. Though
A lot of those scoring chances I noticed there was no chance for finish.
Yeah.
So they were chances there, but Minnesota already took away the chance for
you know
finish.
what the Leafs should do more though? Shoot the fucking puck.
Well, you know what?
In a
though?
lot of cases, they pass on these opportunities to shoot.
In a game like that though, I would have liked them to try and rattle Dubnyk a little bit more. Maybe have a
So then
random guy falling into the
so then
net.
Dubnyk can channel in his inner Carey Price.
Okay, well, you know what?
God,
That's different.
Carey Price, man,
Carey Price,
going too far.
See what happened?
yeah, I did see what happened, but Carey Price was out for an entire season last year. He doesn't want that to happen again. He was
That's
fighting
true.
for his season. That's where those punches came from.
I mean, yeah, but let's just go with the general rule that you don't punch a guy in the back of the head or while he's down on the ice.
Then you look at what put him out last year, which was a guy that was sliding right into the ice and then ended up hurting his knee. Sorry, sliding right into him, and that's how he hurt his knee.
yeah, it just doesn't look good, man. It looks like it should have earned the suspension or something.
Do you
Well,
want-
no, it's Carey
Yeah,
Price.
he should have gotten some.
Yeah, you should have got some shit for that.
So you want to look to the week ahead for the Leafs?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so tonight.
We got
It's a
to
game
yeah,
day.
Fuck, it's fucking me up that it's a Sunday, and there's a Leaf
A
game
rare
on.
Sunday home game or rare Sunday game in general.
I'm playing Colorado Avalanche, who just lost 10-1 to the.
Yeah, and it's also Anton Bebo's first start. I wouldn't go to Bebo. I go right back to Anderson. But
You know what? I think it's time for Bebo to get a little bit of a taste of the NHL.
I think it's gonna be a high scoring game.
This year,
Do you think Anderson's gonna end up in
I wouldn't be surprised.
what period?
Second.
Oh.
well, it depends on how Colorado comes out. But going back to Bebo, I've been looking at some of his Marlies games. He's really on or he's off.
Oh, sorry. Just before we get to Bebo, the Leafs finally signed Ramo. Oh, to a PTO.
Yeah,
He's playing with the Marlies right now.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
playing.
and I
He
heard
struggled in his first
yeah.
game.
His
I
first
heard.
2 starts weren't that great. He lost by 1 goal the first game and then 2 goals the second, or one.
But I think he let in like 5 goals in each, didn't he?
No, the
What?
first
The
goal.
first one, yeah.
The first one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like
Yeah, first game I heard he really struggled.
it was like 5 something.
And I'm not even sure if he played the second game.
The second game, yeah, no, he played 2 games in a row.
Oh, okay.
But Bebo, he, if you look at how he's played in the Marlies, is really. It depends on what his mental state is coming into the
That's
net.
what I'm saying. How he's gonna be really nervous in his first career start. Anyway, I'm gonna say the Leafs win 6-4.
All right. Wow, really high
I think it's gonna be a
scoring
high
game.
scoring game, yeah.
I don't think Colorado's gonna have that on Freddie Anderson. Not after what. I know it was
But
Carey Price in net.
Anderson isn't starting. It's Bebo.
Oh, sorry. Ooh.
And they're pretty banged up though too.
Yeah, they lost.
they don't have,
Colorado lost
Colorado,
10-0.
they don't have
10-1 last
Landeskog.
night.
No, Landeskog's playing. Their only injuries.
Yeah, no, he played last night.
You sure?
Yeah,
Landeskog
Landeskog's
played
healthy.
last night. Yeah, he was taking line rushes last night.
And Landeskog even had a good post game scrum saying.
Okay. I auto set my lineups, and for the longest time he was out.
No, he's healthy.
So he better have been in my lineups the past couple
Their
of
only
days.
injuries, Eric
No,
Johnson on defense.
No, remember, you're talking hockey with Brendan. If you don't know something, there's something wrong with you, apparently.
That's not.
No.
Anyway,
No,
I'm saying a 6-4 win for the Leafs.
I'm gonna say a 4-1 victory because I think Bebo's gonna actually have a pretty strong start.
I'm going to say 4-2. Leafs.
Okay.
I think Colorado's going to be still shaken up from last night.
That or just
I felt
pissed.
bad for Jerome Iginla last night. It was his 1500. It was his 1500 game,
He is struggling this year. I dropped in fantasy.
and
I heard it might
he
be
got
his
into a
last season.
fight and they scored a goal.
He's
But
like, 39 years old, I think.
but yeah,
So that brings us to San Jose against Tuesday. San Jose is probably the best team along the boards and playing behind the net. Remember that game we saw against San Jose? They
Yeah.
fucking dominated us the first period.
Oh God! Yeah.
So I'm gonna say it's gonna be repeated that again. I'm gonna say San Jose wins 5-3.
5-3. Wow, high scoring games from you. I don't know if it's gonna. I have a feeling the Sharks are gonna win, but I kind of feel like the Leafs might get a point out of it. Is that too much? I think it might be
you know what?
five-
I see
Your
that game going to
I think it-
overtime. Yeah,
I
I
think
see
it
that
might be
game going to
4-3
overtime.
in overtime though.
It was in overtime last year when San Jose beat us.
I see
in
that.
Toronto.
Thomas Reynolds going to be back for that game, right?
I don't think he's injured.
No, he was injured for a little bit.
Well, he's been back for a while then.
No, he's only been back for maybe a week,
Okay.
maybe.
So
a few
who do you
games.
have, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm gonna say San Jose 4-3
I don't
overtime.
like the way the Leafs match up against San Jose.
No, I never have.
Well, we don't have the size. That's why.
Well, we always struggle against Western Conference teams.
So then that brings us to Arizona. Austin Matthews' first game against his childhood team,
And then
and also
Peter
Peter
Holland.
Holland's first game against the Leafs already.
Wait,
since-
is that away or home?
It's home.
It's gonna be Peter Holland's first game
The Leafs are on
back.
a 5-game homestand right now, starting tonight.
Are you gonna say it's gonna be Peter Holland's first game? To play
Oh wait, hold
in
on.
Toronto
If,
this
if
year?
it's a homestand, if we're playing at home against San Jose, I think we're gonna win that game.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so 2 for San Jose and 1 for.
I think we're gonna go 4-1 in the homestand.
Okay, that'd be great. And for Arizona, I think the Leafs are going to win. As a score, I'll say 4-1.
Who's in net for them? Is it still Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Smith always plays well against us, so actually, you know what? I'll say 3-1.
Yeah, because didn't
3-2, actually.
we see Phoenix last year too?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Arizona, yeah. I'll say 3-2 Leafs.
Yeah, that was Max Domi's first game back at the ACC since World Juniors. Yeah.
I'll say 3-2 Leafs.
I think this is going to be the high scoring Leafs game, and I think we're going to finally crack Mike Smith, and I think it's going to be a 6-1 victory.
I think it's gonna probably be about 3-2. I said 3-2. I think Pierre Holland's gonna get a goal.
Of course he will.
I think Pierre Holland's gonna get a goal.
He has to, right? It's former Leafs scoring.
And
And are we going to... It depends on what day, I guess, we do this next week. But we can either get to Pittsburgh now or next week.
We'll do it again on Friday.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the Leafs are back to normal schedule.
Yeah.
They didn't play any fucking games there. There's nothing to talk about. Like, what else is going on in Leafland?
Anything you want to talk about for the last 2 minutes?
The possibility of like JVR going or William Nylander going was that was a rumor heading around. I thought maybe Winnipeg might be a possible trade partner, but you shot that down really
No, all
hard.
I said was, because Jamie was saying earlier, I think Captain and Holland or something would be enough for Trouba. And
Yeah,
I said,
weren't you saying Holland
Yeah,
and
yeah.
a pick or something?
Yeah, Holland
That's
and a
far
pick
too
would
I
be
low.
said the
No.
only way we'll trade for Trouba, it starts with JVR, but that would be part of a bigger trade.
What? Okay.
That'd be multiple players scenario.
What else would we
Who
get
else?
back from?
I know, I'd even speculate.
Yeah.
'cause
It's
I
too
don't
hard
want
to speculate on the trades.
Well, I still think I think JVR and Trouba would probably make the most amount of sense to anybody right now. I mean,
I don't want to give up a
Winnipeg
guy who
needs-
scores 30 goals for a defense, for like
well, it's a guy that's on his
stay-at-home
way out.
defenseman.
Yeah, and I know it would just a deal for JVR would have to be so fucking.
I
impressive.
don't want the Leafs to trade JVR.
I know it would have to be like an active player and of like.
I
first
understand
round
why
pick.
he's in the rumor mill.
I don't think we're gonna re-sign him after his contract's done. I think this team
can
wants
see-
to
I
get
can see-
younger. I think this team is
But
trying to follow the
I
motto.
also think this team
follow
wants
the model
to
of
contend
Chicago.
as soon as possible without rushing it.
Yeah,
And I think that can be as soon as next year. And JVR will only be 28.
yeah, and he's right in that age to step up to be a vet for the younger players who are in their very early 20s.
JVR is still a good player.
yeah, I'm not saying that.
No,
That sounded
You
so
s-
like
yeah, you
beaten
said that
up, but you're
like-
like he's still good, guys. just leave JVR alone.
he's really good.
He is really good. And I don't want
Um,
him to leave either. I hate the.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him to leave, but I'm talking.
He's one of the best players like in tight around the net.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. At the same time, though, I see him play. I don't think he really matches.
If anything, trade fucking Bozak.
Well,
You know, Bozak is the longest-serving Leaf
I know.
right now.
Trade Bozak and then elevate Kadri to second line. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Because then Kadri's doing a good thing on
On
the third line, but I want to see him also get more goals.
And hey, you guys scoffed when I said that Matthews was going to be used as a third liner most of the time. And most of the time the lineups are released, he's on that third line.
You know what,
He's
though?
like the second
Mike
line center.
Babcock's
Kadri's
not
a
playing-
third line center.
Mike Babcock is
a lot
playing
of the
like
ways that it's released, Matthews is third. It's always changing the orders,
Well,
eh?
I wouldn't. It depends what the ice time is too.
You know what?
Yeah,
I
I'll
guess
have to look
I
that
disagree with that because Mike Babcock isn't playing like he's playing the first line as first line, but other than that, like he's really utilizing all of his lines. And if you look at
Except
the time,
fourth line, yeah.
but if you look at the time on ice for the first three lines, they're pretty much
Probably pretty even.
they're pretty even. So, I mean, he's not using lines in the kind of new conventional sense where you have your first line, second line, third line,
Yeah.
fourth line. He's using them in terms of what will work here and what will work there. And
The matchups, yeah.
yeah, and Kadri, you know, he plays anywhere from a third line role to a first line role. I remember that Edmonton game, he had I think the second or third most time on ice of all the forwards.
Yeah, he just plays guys accordingly, I guess. But
So
more-
I don't think
more
it's a
changes,
third
damn
line
it.
or whatever. I think each line has their set games, and I think each line has their role.
Levo's not playing tonight.
Then why did Mike Babcock say that he was playing tonight last
I
night?
don't think Babcock ever said
He
for sure
did
he's
say
playing
that
tonight.
line.
he's a liar.
Okay.
All right, so who wants to do a little signing off?
Yeah, we'll talk about Edwin on Friday because hopefully he'll be signed with the team.
I know we've
Yeah.
been saying like, oh, maybe he'll be signed by the next one, so we can actually
I feel
talk
like he
about
might be
it.
signed.
Even his agent said he was going to be signed by now.
Yeah. Do you guys think he's going to be signed for less than this qualifying? He can't
No.
be, can
No,
he?
God,
he'll be signed for more than that. I think he's going to make at least 20 mil.
We're getting close to a situation that I said where Edwin might not be back and
But he wants
Jose might
he
be
wants
back.
to play for the Blue Jays. Come on, Shapiro. Just fucking play him and then put Pearson like in the outfield or something. Fuck.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be a market for Batista. He could be back. It's exactly like I said is happening.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Bautista was back for a year.
Blech.
He doesn't have much of a market right now, it seems like.
Blech.
All right.
Blech. Well, that's it for the BB&J podcast. Thanks for listening, guys. As always, I'm Jamie,
I'm Brendan.
I'm Bryson.
and we'll be back next week. Hopefully, not as awkward as this week.
No, it'll still be as awkward, but don't forget to like and subscribe.
That's it.
Nah, I remembered.
I like turtles.